Hello and welcome. So, the first part has been done. We came to Poland quite fairly easy. It wasn't too bad. We stopped like 8-9 times on our way, but we've done like 1,200. And now the part that it's going to be most difficult one, which is Poland. And there's not many Tesla chargers, and that's going to be a problem because we've tried yesterday Greenway charger and it didn't go well. The speed was like 10 kilowatts. So it's gonna be challenging if that's gonna be so difficult to charge our car on the way. It's gonna be fun, but yeah, we need at least one stop during our trip. So hopefully one stop will be successful. But yeah, we have about 300 something miles to do, and yeah, hopefully it will be good. I'll see you next time.
I was a little bit too hopeful about stopping only once, and I blame that Greenway charger that didn't work properly the day before. That is why we went to supercharger in Szczecin, and we're supposed to just to top up a little bit to get to the next charger, which was only about 100 miles away in Koszalin. However, we went to a shop to get some food for the journey, and that took us a little bit longer. That is why we charged to about 95%, even though we didn't need so much to get there. When we arrived to Koszalin, we had still about 40% charge left, and just before we got there, I felt like we're gonna just skip this one to go to the next one. But as always, kids needed a toilet, and to be honest, I needed a coffee as well, so it was actually quite convenient to stop. Thank you, kids. We had two choices here. First choice was to charge it up to about 90-95%, and that would actually get us all the way down to our destination town, Bartoszyce. That was about 240 miles away, and we would still have probably some battery left. However, we didn't know if any of the 3 chargers in Bartoszyce were working as they should, and also because we still had around 5-hour drive, we would definitely need a toilet break on the way after coffee. We stayed here only for about 90 minutes to get it charged to 80%. After quite a few roadworks on the way, we arrived at the Shell station in Nowy Dwór Gdanski. Even though we needed only about 90 miles of range to get to our destination, we decided to charge it up to 80% as usual. That gave us a little bit of a spare charge just in case it turns out that all those 3 chargers in my wife's hometown wouldn't work. I tried here to use my Shell recharge card that's supposed to actually work in Europe as well. However, it didn't work for some reason, so after 15 minutes of trying, I just gave up and paid with my debit card. This charger, just like the previous one, was one of the most expensive chargers used during the whole trip because we didn't have any subscriptions or any discounts. Therefore, we paid about 66p for the previous Greenway charger and 68p per kilowatt hour at this Shell. So we have done just over 350 miles and we stopped 3 times for charging. That took 1 hour and 24 minutes altogether. Yes, nearly 1.5 hours for 350 miles trip. No, it is not the fault of the infrastructure. I blame that Greenway charger the day before, which probably would save us about 35-40 minutes, actually, the charging time. However, in our case, it didn't bother us too much because we spent that time using toilet, we used that time to shop, to walk a dog, or to eat or drink as well. So, for someone who would like to do it at one go, that probably would be very inconvenient. However, for us, it didn't bother us at all. It wasn't any inconvenience. It was actually good to have a nice little rest. Next day, it was a decision time. Which charger should we use for charging our car while we stay there? Obviously, the nearest supercharger is out of the question here because it's about 2-hour drive, so it's not worth it to actually get there and back. So when I checked the map, the most frequent chargers around my wife's place was actually a Greenway company, and conveniently there was one in my wife's town, which is perfect. However, there are 2 other chargers, SOLA charger and good old Lidl charger. Lidl charger offers only 60 kilowatts of power, and it was a little bit more expensive than to charge from Greenway charger with subscription. SOLA, on the other hand, offers good speed, 120, but they don't have any subscriptions or discounts for frequent charging. So the Greenway was the winner. I've paid about £17 for the subscription, and that got the price down to about 44p per kilowatt hour, which is still not bad. What's more, Greenway had a summer promotion. They gave us 60 kilowatt hours of free charging, which meant nearly one full charge of our Tesla for free. Sweet! After this research, I got the Greenway app and went to try it out, obviously. It started well with no issues at all, and we went for a little shopping even. However, after a few minutes only, the charging speed dropped down, and after another 16 minutes into charging, it stopped for some reason. At first, I thought that my Tesla broke down, and that is why I can't get it to charge. And I got a little bit panicky there. But I thought, like, let's go to a solar charger, which is nearby, and just check if it's going to start to charge there. And when we got there, everything was fine. The speed was actually quite good because it was over 100 kilowatts, and within like 21 minutes we got it charged to 80%. I think I charged it up to like 85% or something like that. But yeah, everything was fine. We paid the price for that because it was 70p per kilowatt hour, and it was the most expensive charging session and the last charging session at that price, at that charger.
Not a Tesla, but it's still fun. I've been charging at this station for the last 4 weeks now, because this is where my wife's place is, and this is the closest sort of fast charger is. And yeah, I've been charging with this cable. Yeah, there are two cables here. You know, there's one here, this one that I've been using for the last 5 weeks, and there's another one, slightly different one, but with a bigger, you can see like the difference between the cables. And yeah, I felt like it doesn't matter, yeah, because I've noticed that before, but I felt like it doesn't matter. And yeah, and just for you know, just to try it out, or like, well, why not to charge it up with this? I'd see if it's going to make any difference to the speed. And it turns out it does make a lot of difference, because it's charging now with F147, so 150, which is the full speed of 150. Yeah. I've been wasting quite a lot of time here, charging at half of the speed. I feel stupid now, to be honest. Shame I didn't, you know, notice that before. So yeah, well, there you go. 148 at 21%. It's gonna take me, well, 25 minutes, which is not bad. It's better than 45 minutes. So, see ya. So, the kids are gone, the wife is gone. And this is the sign that everybody loves in Germany. So it's national speed limit, which means no speed limit. Right, let's go. 100 miles an hour. Let's see. This should okay. This guy's gonna go.